Good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here back at prom. This month, we celebrate all of the amazing contributions of Asian Americans who have come to our shores from faraway nations and of the continued contributions of their children and their children's children. But there's much more for us to do. And I saw this personally last year in my campaign for Senate when my opponent actually tried to use the fact that my mother chose to become an American citizen in her 50s as an insult. The fact of the matter is, I'm proud that my mother came to this country as an immigrant. I'm just as proud of her as I am of my father's history. But it is amazing to me that in the 21st century, in the nation that leads the world's democracies, that I would actually have an opponent who would look at me and questioned my Americanness. It was something that was certainly a shocker. I hesitate to think what he would have done had he known that I didn't even speak English till I was 8 years old. That said, it is so important at this time that we take our time to reflect upon everything that the AAPI community has given to our nation and how we have helped our country become that strongest nation, that leader of democracy in the world. And one of the very, very special individuals who has helped us to get there is with us today. Chanchanit Martorell, Chancee, has dedicated her life to serving her local Thai and AAPI communities. Her work to advocate for policies at the state and federal levels to support Asian Americans is incredibly important, and I am so honored to present her with the APAICS Community Award. One of the best things that we can do for our community and our country is to get more involved at every level of government, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And I'm so glad to see that leaders like Chancee are doing just that. So with that, Chancee, congratulations on all of your achievements. I'm honored to present you with the APAICS Community Award, DJ Makmaka. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, wow. I am so overwhelmed right now, and I just have to take a minute here. I'm just truly so overwhelmed right now by this honor, and to have been handed the Community Leader Award by none other than U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth, who broke so many barriers. Words cannot even begin to describe my deep gratitude for a recognition that I would like to really give to the Asian Pacific American community leaders who came before me and who are yet to come. In fact, the Thai Community Development Center had honored Senator Duckworth with a Social Impact Award at our 20th anniversary gala several years ago, so now I guess we've come full circle. I was truly very surprised and taken aback when I first heard from Floyd Morey of APAICS that I was selected for the award. So I can't thank APAICS enough for such an incredible honor. And I'm humbled to be in the presence of such distinguished guests and political luminaries, especially from my very own community, our Honorable Thai Ambassador to the U.S. himself, and my fellow Thai Americans. I'm not sure where they are in this room. Okay, that's great. I also want to give a shout out to the LA contingent. So I feel like I'm surrounded by family and feel really at home here in DC. I would like to take this opportunity to say that everyone, absolutely everyone, can become a community leader and innovative champions of equity and democracy. We can all be anxiously engaged. I urge all of you to begin working toward the creation of greater unity and solidarity between our Asian American community and every other conceivable form of community that we come in contact with or feel a part of, whether it be based on race, ethnicity, gender, religion, labor affiliation, geography, affinity, language, trade, profession, you name it. Once you find your calling, you need to commit to it and be willing to accept failure and rejection. If you abandon something because you don't experience immediate success, then you will never be successful. Part of sacrifice is being willing to accept failure. The best ideas are not necessarily the most popular ones. Sometimes the biggest sacrifice to make is of one's ego. Not everyone can be a chief. If you have been a star student all your life and you feel that you need to be the center of attention everywhere you find yourself, then you are at the wrong event. You have to be humble and be willing to follow others. Not every good idea has to be your own. Martin Luther King Jr. did not invent nonviolence. He wasn't even the first African-American civil rights leader who thought about nonviolence as a means toward liberation. He was a student, a follower of those who had gone before him. If he was solely dedicated to the propagation of his own ideas, he would not have looked toward others for guidance and inspiration. He would have sought to devise his own means, and the civil rights movement may never have occurred. But Dr. King had something greater on his mind than his own aggrandizement. He never forgot whom he was serving. He never forgot that there was a whole people waiting for their freedom. That was his priority. That was his mission. It is not a question of who founded the cause or movement, or whose idea it was, or who is in charge, or whose face is on TV, but what gets accomplished in the end. Not everyone is going to be served by being a leader. Sometimes our greatest contribution is that of a faithful follower who can be counted on when he or she is needed. So I owe my God, my faith, my board, my staff, my supporters, my friends for sustaining me through the years. Nothing I do would have been possible without their love and support. This occasion is really a tribute to all of you. I am truly humbled, as I said again, and humbled and honored by this recognition that's being conferred to me by APAICS on the occasion of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, commemorating positive contributions of generations of AAPIs to this country's progress and prosperity. It is especially meaningful because by recognizing me, you're recognizing the contributions of a Thai American who is very much a part of the diverse Asian American Pacific Islander community. But Thais can often feel like minor minorities. Although our community's history in the U.S. is relatively brief, spanning only 60 years compared to other AAPI communities, our growth has been a rapid one, and with the proliferation of Thai-owned businesses, Thais have become an integral part of this country's workforce, contributing to its economy. This recognition is also important because it is declaring to the broader community that the Thai community exists. We have a presence, we occupy a space, we have a history associated with a place, and we count. We no longer exist in the margins, we're no longer invisible, and we're no longer without a voice. The recognition also helps shed light on the reality that despite being a newly emerging immigrant community whose population may be smaller in size than any other Asian ethnic immigrants, we are disproportionately affected by our society's social ills. For example, we are the largest population of traffic victims in the U.S. 69% of Thais are medically indigent or without health insurance, and peptic ulcer, a treatable condition, is the second leading cause of death for Thais. And that is the reason why the Thai Community Development Center exists today. And in closing, I want to say that, however, as ethnic communities, we should all be counted more than just another part of the rich tapestry, but rather as a united entity that can put demands on the greater polity, not just put on display our culture for appreciating. In order to successfully do this, we must remember that we're asking for concessions not as Thais in Thailand or Koreans in Korea or Indians in India, but as Thai Americans, Korean Americans, Indian Americans living in this country. So I think with that, I again truly am honored, and I appreciate all that has been conferred to me, and I wish you an evening of great insights in how we could all cement the bond that we each share as Asian Americans with each other. Thank you very much.